Hey there, small business owners. Ever feel like you're always putting off updating your website? For most of you out there, building and maintaining an online presence can be overwhelming. Your day-to-day schedule can greatly impact necessary tasks like keeping your website up to date and planning marketing campaigns to stay competitive. Brand You Love offers monthly packages for website maintenance, marketing campaigns that help keep current customers engaged while attracting new ones, and social media strategies that keep you in touch with your customers. At Brand You Love, we do the legwork for you, so you don't have to. Contact us today at brand.love.com.
Welcome back to Desert City, a Dungeons & Dragons 5e actual play produced by TTRP Theater. I'm Duke Walter, not your Game Master. Joining me as always is Dean Martin Jr. as Kevin, Chris Freedom as Theo, and Jazz Abramowitz as the Dungeon Master. Well, call me a liar. We got to record and I got enough time to finish out another episode of Desert City, so no jumping to the one-shot of Renaissance City this time. But I've still got it in the bank, so you may hear it eventually. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're a returning listener, thanks. We're glad to have you back. TTRP Theater is a group of actors, artists, and gamers from all walks of life who enjoy playing a diverse set of games in a diverse set of styles. Check out our YouTube page, TTRP Theater, 2 words, and subscribe for a load of different content. How-tos, actual plays. If you need more content from us, check out our Renaissance City playlists. They're available wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Well, enough from me. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Desert City. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Good morning and shay everyone. We opened under the city where you guys surmised that following the current path. Sorry, I'm going to start over. Let's start with a little recap. We started under the city where you guys surmised the following. God damn it. I shouldn't smoke weed before we do this. Let's start with a little recap.
This is all staying in. Every fucking bit of it.
It is. Fuck sticks. All right. Here's the goddamn recap. We opened under the city where you guys surmised that following the current path would likely lead to a total party kill, so you decided to head back to topside as soon as possible. Your way back was blocked by a mysterious skeleton who may have been missing somewhere up to 28 bones. After quickly dispatching the skeleton, you made it back above ground and headed directly to Dawn Tower. The 3 of you went to Theo's quarters and shared some memories of Dawn Tower. Kevin called dibs on Theo's bed, which inspired Theo to take first watch. Theo began his watch by leaving his friends in his quarters to grab supplies and visit Eos Morningwood. As he approached the door, he felt very sleepy and then was approached by a huge, smiling figure offering him a deal. Theo refused his assistance, and when he came to, he was outside of Morningwood's room. He woke Morningwood up, and eventually, Theo shared his concerns about the church and even Morningwood himself. Morningwood pleaded for your support and then fell back asleep. Upon waking, Kevin found a note from Morningwood that he shared with the group. Theo urged Kevin to head down and see Morningwood, and to let Morningwood know about their recent struggles with the mission. Once alone, Theo shared with Ellen his surreal experience, which led Ellen to believe that Theo might be contacted by a fae. Once all together, you all again expressed the difficulty you were having with the mission and started to press Morningwood with more questions about the rumors you have been hearing, in which most were largely unsubstantiated, except for Morningwood's admission that he had been suffering from blackouts and memory loss. You got the names of the Dawnbringers who were in the meeting prior to the church switching sides, and shortly after, Morningwood stood up. You all noticed a gray, smoke-like color take over his eyes for a moment. Then he fell unconscious. You called for help, and Morningwood was eventually taken up to his room, where he still lay unconscious, and that's where we are now. So, Theo, Ellen, Kevin, you have a lot of information. You're still in the church. What would you like to do?
Kevin and I had intended to go to the library. I wanted to speak to the librarian and poke around, try to see from the inside what we can find out from those that maybe aren't heard, but have eyes on things.
I'm going to talk to my friends in the kitchen. I'll meet back up with you.
And I don't think Kevin's ever been to a library.
All right, so let's start in the library. You walk down the halls, you head towards the library. Its ancient doors, weathered by time yet steadfast in their purpose, open into a realm of hushed reverence and scholarly pursuit. As you step over the threshold, you're enveloped by the scent of aged parchment and the whispering echo of countless stories waiting to be told. Tall shelves stretching toward the heavens, house rows upon rows of leather-bound tomes and scrolls, their spines adorned with faded titles and intricate designs, each a treasure trove of history and insight. The flickering glow of candles dance across the polished wooden tables where scholars and scribes meticulously transcribe ancient texts and unravel the mysteries of a forgotten language. Dust motes dance in the silver of sunlight that filter through the stained glass windows, casting a kaleidoscope of colors upon the worn flagstone floor. In every corner, hidden alcoves invite seekers of knowledge to lose themselves amidst the passages and pages of bygone eras. Here, one might stumble upon the chronicles of long-forgotten kings, the treatises of learned philosophies, or mystical incantations of arcane magics. The air is alive with the soft rustle of parchment and the occasional murmur of scholarly debate as minds collide and ideas take flight. Amidst the quiet chaos, the librarian, a guardian of this sacred repository, moves with silent grace, gliding seekers to the tomes that hold the answers to their inquiries. In this bastion of learning, time holds no sway, and the boundaries of the known world seem to blur.
Jazz?
Yes?
Is that your writing?
Yes.
Dude, fuck this game. You write a book and read it
Write
to
a
us.
fucking
That would
book
be
and read it to
so
us.
much cooler. That'd be so much cooler. Your writing is dope, dude.
Thank you, brother. But I love telling a collaborative story with you guys, so I would never fucking
get over it. The task has changed. You're now writing, and we're listening. So I'm over this.
So, end of Desert City.
Yep.
It's like a choose your own adventure book.
It's like the narrator is intellectual and the players are idiots.
No, that has always been the case,
Wow,
man.
Chris. Wow. Don't take that shit, guys. That's bullshit.
That has always been the case.
I just think your writing is so eloquent. I mean, really, I just really enjoy it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
I'm cutting all of that out.
I don't
Fuck
care.
yeah.
It was for him anyway.
No, I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it Jazz fumbling through stuff, and I'm cutting out all the eloquence.
Right. Yeah. Okay, let me remove.
That's what we're going for.
Let me remove Jazz's balls from my mouth and let's play this game.
We enter the library. Would I know where Eos's typical spot was? Theo had said something about that at one point, that Eos had, like a pretty standard place in the library.
What do you think, Theo? Would that be something that you would have shared with Ellen? Or is that something that, in terms of like an exact location, or is that something that Theo would more likely keep to himself?
I mean, I described it, but the truth is it's not going to be hard. The libraries, it's not like this massive football field of a library. You're going to know.
True.
You're going to notice.
It's a relatively large library for this kind of institution, but it is not a multi-leveled giant football field as Chris described it, library. So there are 2 floors. There is a short flight of stairs that connect them within the library. And Theo had told Ellen that Morningwood's spot was kind of upstairs near the west wall.
Okay, I think that's where we're gonna go first. Are there any prying eyes? Are there, at least, like out in the open common areas?
Give me a perception check.
Bro, Kevin's going to go to the card catalog.
I have a passive perception of 14.
Okay.
I will give you a roll.
See if we can get better than that.
That is a 10.
Okay, so with your passive perception, there are a few people milling in the libraries. You can kind of tell that you're getting a bit of a side eye, but it might just be because they're not accustomed to strangers in the library. This is mostly for clerics to do research. So you're not sure if it's suspicion or not.
Okay. Card catalog?
Yeah. And he's going to look up subject, God's agate.
Give me an investigation check.
Ooh, all right. Rolling dice. Fuck, man. Come on. Oh, sorry. I didn't roll nothing.
You're a -1 on investigation.
I didn't roll anything. I dumped the box out and a bunch of weed fell out with it. 16.
16.
Yes, sir.
So you start to flit your way through page after page of this tome, which lists what this particular library has. You're looking for the keyword. You see a lot of things mentioned about gods, and you see a lot of things mentioned about agate, but you don't necessarily see anything pointing you specifically to the god's agate.
He was just trying to look smart.
Give me a perception check really quickly.
Just Kevin?
19.
Yeah. 19. Kevin.
Is that with your +5?
It's all of it.
Nice.
Kevin, with your good looks and sparkly blue eyes, everybody there thinks you're the smartest person in the library.
Ooh, excellent. We'll have to use that to my advantage.
While he was going to the card catalog, I was going upstairs to try to find, Eos's regular sitting spot. See if anything's left behind. See if there's tomes, that he has set aside.
You head upstairs. You head to the west wall. There are a few half worked on parchments that are laying around. If you pick them up to look at them, you will notice that one of them in particular seems to have some writing relative to Eos's curse, but it's scribbles and notes. It's hard to make anything out of it.
So there's no, there's no theme to the notes. There's no, words that stand out, anything like that. Phrases.
There's a few different tomes that it's referring to, and there's a note. It seems to be, however, and this would make sense, and you would understand this. It seems to be in some sort of code that you would need a cipher for.
Okay. I'm gonna wrap up the parchment with his notes on it, shove it away into my pack, and
go
find the librarian.
Okay. How about you, Kevin?
I think as I'm coming downstairs, I would have, like signaled to Kevin, give him a head nod, like I'm going this way.
He's kind of he's scoping the marks. Doesn't look like there's a lot to jack in this environment. He's kind of running point, or not point, but he's just kind of covering Ellen 6 here. This is all out of his wheelhouse, the whole library. So he doesn't really know what he's supposed to be doing with his hands.
So you start to look for the librarian, who you would know because she's worked there for what seems like your entire life. Her name is Hafsa Sandoval, Hafsa. And she is a human woman. She looks to be in her late 70s, and she is considered the keeper of all knowledge in the library. A devout follower of Lathander.
Kevin, this is Hafsa. She is, she's quite reverent. She is also very revered. So I'm going to get a little formal, but maybe
Kevin's going to give her the eyes.
Yeah, work a little of your magic.
So nice to meet you. This is an amazing library. The best one I've ever been in.
Thank you so much. It's so good to see you, Ellen.
Hello, Hafsa. It's been too long.
It's been so long.
Yes, it's been too long.
Exactly. When was the last time you graced my library, dear?
Oh, it's probably been
6th grade book report.
3 or 4 years ago at this point. I've been busy.
I know you have. She really does look at you, Ellen, with true affection in her eyes. You guys shared some moments together, right?
Yeah, this was a place where I could find solace. I've always been a very curious person, and she's always been very kind, and she loves to foster curiosity and loves to see people grow in knowledge. And so she and I have always had a very good relationship. When I was really young, I was one of those kids that I consumed books, right? I just loved, especially fiction. And she helped to foster that, that interest for me, and would provide me with a whole variety of different authors and so on. And so, she's always been a light in the darkness for me.
Tell us about the day that you left Dawn Tower and the object that she gave you. It was probably 2 or maybe 3 weeks after I turned 19, and I had, I was out of my dorm, and as I was cleaning up, I found a couple of books that I had just kept on my shelf that I had never returned, and in seeing those, and she always gave me some grace with that. She's such a meticulous record keeper. I wouldn't get grief about it, but she would gently remind me at times that I still had a book or two. And so I knew that I couldn't leave without making sure that those books got back, just out of respect and care for her. And I went down to the library and kind of came in sheepishly, knowing, a little bit of that childhood guilt, like you're returning something to your aunt that you took when you shouldn't have probably taken it or kept it for as long as you did. And she just acted like she was so happy to have those books back. And when she opened the front to look at the internal, look at the card inside, and she went back and she got the card, and she saw that I had the books for like 2.5 years or something.
Dude, that's beyond grace.
She ribbed me a little bit. We laughed, and I told her that that I was moving out, and I had gotten a job, and we talked for a few minutes, and then she took the books back and she put them behind the counter in the return cart. She opened a drawer and came back to me, and she handed me this probably foot-long piece of like golden thread cord. It was pretty thin, maybe a 1/16 of an inch braid. She told me that it was multi-use, that it could be a bookmark, that it could be a reminder, so I could use it to tie around my wrist to remind me of something, that it had a, it could be multi-purpose. But I needed to make sure that I always kept it to remember how important reading and knowledge is. And that cord, I incorporated into the necklace that I wear. It's not the full chain, it's not the full band of the necklace itself, but I had it woven into some leather and a couple of chain links, and it holds the medallion that hangs around my neck.
That's awesome. Kevin, you mentioned in one of our prior sessions that someone had taken the time along the way to teach you how to read Common. After you were released from the Orcish prison and you were working for Morningwood, and you were working for... This is just me narrating to you, brother.
Oh, I don't even want the viewing audience to know he was in an Orcish prison.
They already know.
Okay.
So once you were released from the Orcish prison and you started working for Morningwood, on occasion, he would bring you books that would help you along your path to reading Common. These books were from this library. What was one of your favorite books?
There's a book about a pirate who ventured to the ends of the world, and it was tales of his adventure.
What was his name?
Borscht. So you all are standing with Hafsa and you're exchanging some pleasantries. Come, sit down with me at this table.
Happily.
She sits. There's a pitcher with some water and some glasses. There are open books, open scrolls that are laying on the table that either her or other clerics have been researching. What do I owe this visit for? What do you need from the library?
Hafsa, we are on a bit of a fact-finding mission. I'm going to guess that the news has not gotten down here. We were just at breakfast with Dawnbringer Morningwood, and he has collapsed. And they rushed him up to his room. He is currently resting but unconscious. I am sure you are aware of the loss of his health and faculties over the last several months. Are you aware?
Yes, I am aware. That is a shame about today. She looks taken aback. She takes her bespoke glasses off her face and cleans the lenses and rubs her eyes as if she's stricken with a great pain in hearing that.
I know that he always spent a lot of time here, but in talking to some of his friends, they had been doing quite a bit of research around the origins of the city, and I didn't know if you could potentially provide us with some insight as to what he has been looking into. If it's at all, if you can enlighten us in any way. We are on a mission to hopefully help him recover from this affliction, and any information that you can provide is helpful.
She looks deeply into your eyes, and you see her eyes move down to your neck, where she notices her gift. She gives you a wry smile and takes your hand in her weak, wrinkled hand and pats the top of your hand and says, "Of course, I will tell you everything I know." Let's cut to Theo. Theo, you had a mission to go to the to go speak with the help, I think is what you said, right? Where would you like to go?
So I walk in through the servant's entrance of the kitchen, and I'm just looking to see who's working.
So you leave the dining room and you walk into the service entrance of the kitchen. It's a stone room with hearths of fire. There are dried herbs hanging and various pots, pans, metal instruments used for chopping and stirring. There's still some soup kettles boiling, and there is meat roasting, preparing for lunch. As you look around, you only find a couple of orcs in the back who are washing dishes.
All right. So I'm going to run back there and just say hi. Hey, Dom. How are you?
Theo, well, I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good. It's been a minute since I've been around, a couple weeks. We
would like it if you would be here more often.
Well, I'm kind of up to my eyeballs in adventure right now. But when it cools down, I imagine I'll come back this way. Everything going okay around here?
It would be wonderful to see you again.
Kind of you to say. I would like that too. How's everything going around here?
Everything is fine. We work. We are paid. No complaints.
None?
None worth sharing.
I hear you. Dom, you've always been an easygoing guy. Anything you've seen, like particularly about Dawnbringer Morningwood that like has you worried, or maybe that let me just be frank with you. I'm concerned about his health, and I feel like there might be some stuff going on that I'm not privy to, and I'm kind of looking for clues. And I would absolutely be grateful to you for anything you could offer.
The Dawnbringer has been very sick. Very, very sick. He doesn't eat anymore.
Do you know the source of his illness?
I only know what we hear, which isn't much. In the early times of his sickness, we went through a system of seeing if it was something that we were preparing in the kitchen which was causing him this sickness. But it did not turn out to be any of those things. There was another one here, like you, a half-orc. He used to come in and speak with us in Orcish. He said that Morningwood's affliction was magical.
I suspected the same. Any basis for what the magic is or where it came from?
The reason that the other orc came to talk to us is he was wondering if we knew of any magics in the Orcish kingdom that might be somewhat near this. But we did not. We went to the tribe, we asked the elders, and our most powerful mage only said that it seemed like a very ancient magic, but not anything that he could conjure or fix.
I know you guys have a lot of folks, kind of underground, walking through rooms when important conversations are happening, and a lot of times people will say things in front of you that they wouldn't say in front of me, for instance. Have you heard anybody like moving against Morningwood, or maybe any whisperings of any kind of factions?
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
22.
He lowers his eyes at you and gives you a sign of every other finger up, and then lowers those 3 times in a row, which is a sign to be secretive. He asks you to bend your face down and motions for you to come closer to him.
I could meet you somewhere else if this is a bad spot. I understand we don't want to be found talking about sensitive stuff.
It is okay. Just come closely. You need to speak with Dawnbringer Amirandi. He is the one who led the charge against our friend Morningwood.
What do you know? Like what was said?
Jensa overheard. He was talking to Emeraldwind. They were having some sort of private meeting. This was something like a few sunrises before Morningwood got very sick. He overheard Amirandi tell Emeraldwind that the only way to achieve their means was if somebody was unable to cast a deciding vote. They were talking about all the different Dawnbreakers on the council. It was not heard before they had to leave who they decided. But shortly after that, Morningwood got very ill.
It's unfortunate. Any ideas what their goal is? What they're voting on?
Within the Orcish tribe, our clerics, shaman, and leaders tell us that there is a magic that Silpasha is pursuing. That magic has the power to create or destroy. Many who are dealing with Silpasha are worried that he will use this magic to destroy them.
That's horrifying. Thank you so much. Anything else you can think that might help me? I'm trying to get to the bottom of this so we can not only save Dawnbringer Morningwood, but maybe we can get rid of some of the dark element in the church and bring things back to, well, normal is a word I don't like to use very often, but maybe the status quo can be reestablished.
He places both of his hands upon each of your shoulders and looks you in the eye and says, "The only thing else to know is that you have our tribe behind you, brother."
I can't tell you what that means. Thank you so much.
Shay.
What can I do for you?
The next time you commune with Lathander, please ask him to shine the light upon us and our tribe.
The next time and every time, my friend. Shay.
And he stands up and or straightens up his back and goes back to washing the dishes.
I'll come back and see you next time I come through.
He gives you a wave. And is there anybody else in this particular room that you want to speak with?
I mean, yeah, there's another dishwasher. I don't know him quite as well, but we can go over.
So Tramer is over there washing dishes as well. He wasn't quite in the same proximity as Dom, but he is over there also completing his duties.
Hey, Trevor, how are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you. Everything's going well?
I wash dishes for a living.
Not real exciting?
I make 3 copper every 2 days.
Yeah, I get it.
My skin is very dry.
Right. Well, I appreciate all that you do for me. Cleaning up after me and my friends. I honor you in the work that you do.
Did you enjoy your breakfast?
I did.
There was a lot of food left on the plates.
Do you get to have any of that?
You want me to eat your leftover foods off your plates?
I want you to have it if you want it.
I didn't want it.
No? Okay. Fair enough.
Dude, you gotta invite this guy to come with us.
Please.
He needs adventure. We gotta
Yes.
break him out.
Goddamn, you have to fucking put this guy under your wing and he has to come along with us.
We gotta break him out of here. He's losing his damn mind.
Trevor, do you
It's Tramer.
Tramer?
Tramer.
I had your name wrong the whole time.
We'll give him a nickname.
Listen, brother. Yeah, I'm gonna call you Boober.
Okay.
Listen, you're easygoing enough. You're gonna just take the nickname I give you.
I don't. Okay.
Hey, Boober, what do you know about the affliction Dawnbringer Morningwood has experienced? Do you know anything about it?
Dude, this guy
Nah.
is seconds away from drowning himself in dishwater. He could give a damn.
Not really.
No, you're just kind of checking in, doing the dishes, and checking out. Is that right?
I wash dishes and I make 3 coppers every 2 days.
Yeah. You want an opportunity to make more?
Okay.
All right. Well, listen, screw this place. Let's get out of here. Come on an adventure with us. We're going to make a whole bunch of extra coin and we'll cut you
Dude,
in.
No, I was kidding.
No, it's too late.
Okay.
Leave this nerd here.
He's invited.
He.
Now we're going to end up killing him.
This guy's gonna die so
We're
fast.
going to kill him. We're going to kill him.
He undoes his leather apron and he follows you.
Dude, we're going to kill this guy.
What kind of a person is this?
A dead person.
You don't know.
He's an orc.
He's an orc. He's worked there for a few seasons. And his name's Tramer.
Kramer, let me ask you a question
Okay.
before you hit the road with us. Hey, do you have a regular way you can communicate back with the orcs? If I mean, let's say, for example, we're out and we're in the middle of something and we need to call on the orcs. Are you going to be able to be in contact with them?
I mean, I could run.
Yeah, but you
You could run.
got walkie-talkie.
I could run to my tribe and I could tell them but I don't. It depends on where we are, I guess.
Gotcha. All right, good enough.
No,
Let's go.
I don't have like a sending stone or anything because I wash dishes for Dawn Tower
Right.
and I make 3 copper every 2 days.
Yeah. I mean, that adds up, my friend.
Dude, we're going to kill this guy. We're going to push him out of a window. Leave him here.
We bought a small cottage made of thatch and wood.
You have a family?
I have a wife.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he can't come with us.
You have any children?
He's obligated.
We're trying.
Okay. Take a moment and write your wife a heartfelt note, letting her know that you plan to survive and come back with more riches in a month's time.
Okay. I don't know how to write.
Okay.
With the notes.
Dictate to me and I'll put it on this scroll.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Dude, you just cost me all my money because I'm going to pay this guy to go away.
I thought you said to take a moment. I only have like a second. Can I have like a few minutes to put my thoughts together for my wife?
Please take your time.
Cut to the library. She just said that she would share everything. Hafsa just shared that she would share everything she knew. She pulls out a parchment and she starts showing you a map that's got some hash marks on it. It sort of looks like a timeline. She places it in front of Ellen and Kevin.
Back in the before time, Kalisham was a wild place and it brimmed with what we now know is arcane energy. There were certain creatures who had an ability to briefly open a gateway between the material plane and what we now call the Feywild. At the time, we called them Jinn. It is reported that one Jinn, Arakon, learned how to step through this portal, and he and a few others, what we call the original travelers, came through the portal and it closed and they did not know how to get back. So they started to build a city for them to live in. And over the thousands of years, they started to shape the beginnings of what we now know is Kalamport. And then people discovered and began to inhabit the area. The Jinn were able to take advantage of this area's innate arcane energy, and magic users of all levels and disciplines were drawn to the city because of it. Have you ever noticed that you've never seen anyone lighting a street lamp? Yet they're lit each night at the same time and they burn only for the dark hours. And that is done through the magic that the Jinn embedded into the land itself. Eventually, the Fae figured out how to open the gate both ways, and it was told that the Jinn vacated the land back to the Feywild and gave way to the humanoids to rule and shape Kalimshan and Kalamport. This is what Morningwood believed was the origin of his affliction. He believes it is magics that came from the Jinn themselves and are somehow embedded into the land of Kalamport.
Are you familiar with the different Fey spirits? If I was to describe one for you, or are there reading materials here, books that, can give us some kind of encyclopedic knowledge?
I know of a few, but there are so many that even I, with all my knowledge, don't know all of them. There are some books on Fae over on the second floor near the center wall.
I'm going to describe the Fey spirit to her that came to Theo last night.
You describe the tall, sinewy figure with the sunken eyes and the perfect teeth and the wide smile. And her eyes get big. And she says, "That sounds very much like Ericon of our stories."
And who is Ericon of Hostori's?
He was the one that was the first traveler to Kalamport that opened up the portal from the Feywild and was stuck here for the first few thousand years of its existence.
Do you have books? I need to find out as much as I can about this.
Oh, of course. If you go up to the second floor, the center wall, third stack, fifth from the left, there is a tome entirely devoted to Ericon.
Thank you. This is this will hopefully unlock some clues. And but before we go, are you aware have you overheard anyone speaking ill or bringing up nefarious plots or plans around the god's agate?
This is not the first time I've heard that phrase. Mostly, I have heard it from Dawnbreaker Freya Trail Dance.
And what did Freya have to say?
Just heard her mention it a few times as a powerful component. I don't know much more than that. I hear many things from many people. I don't remember most of it.
I wish that we had more time, but when I get more time, I will come back and see you again, but we need to move quickly. I fear that Dawnbringer Morningwood does not have much time left. I appreciate you.
It was wonderful to see you, as always, and I do hope that you will come visit again. I don't know how many more seasons I have.
I will be back as soon as I can. And I get up from around the table and I come across to her where she's seated and I lean down and I give her a hug and I kiss her on the cheek and I look her straight in the eyes and say, "Please be careful. Do not speak of this to anyone else."
She lifts her hand up and strokes the side of your face lovingly and says, "At my age, I have to be careful about everything, my dear. But do me this favor. Do me this favor, please.
Anything.
Behind me, on the shelf, 4th row, all the way at the end, is a book. Could you please grab it for me, dear?"
Of course. And I head right over there. What's the book?
You find the book, and it says Pirate Borscht and the Sea Serpent.
I grab it and look at it and kind of confused, bring it back to her.
She takes it and says, "You,
Me?
I remember those eyes. I saw you once, down by the stable, reading a similar book. I'll never forget your eyes as long as I am on this land." And she hands you a book. It's a children's book, but it says,
Yeah, they all are.
yeah, but it says Pirate Borscht and the Sea Serpent. I want you to have this.
You know what? Y'all were hugging, and I didn't feel like we were there yet. You know, this is my first time meeting you. I didn't feel like we were there yet. But I live in a world with no tenderness. And this is so touching. Come here, woman. Give me a hug.
She struggles to get up from her chair and slowly moves around the table and presses her face into your chest for a hug.
All right, I'm going to whisper to her so that Ellen can't hear, okay?
Yep.
Okay.
You can squeeze my butt if you want.
She gives you like 2 huge handfuls as strong as she can grab, which is not very strong.
Thank you.
What the fuck is wrong with us?
Thank you for the book. I'll be quick to read it and I'll be back for the next one. Ellen, I feel like we got to get to Theo. I got this sense that he's making bad decisions.
I gotta run upstairs and grab this book real quick, and then we can go. And I dash upstairs, find the book on the Fae, and we head out of the library.
Perfect. This is Desert City, a D&D5E actual play produced by TTRP Theater. I'm your Dungeon Master Jazz. Theo is played by Chris Freedom. Ellen is played by Duke Walter. Kevin is played by Dean Martin Jr. TTRP Theater is a group of actors, artists, and gamers from all walks of life that play a diverse set of games in a diverse set of styles. We have a wide array of content available for free on YouTube. Search TTRP Theater and subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Twitter at TTRP Theater. We'd love to hear your feedback. Comment on YouTube or tweet about the show using hashtag RenCityPod. That's RENCITYPOD. Or follow us at the same handle, at RENCITYPOD. Be good to one another. See you next time.